What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today is Tuesday, the day after the news came about Robin Williams passing away. From what I've read so far, it looks to be a suicide. They think it's a suicide. Now, what's interesting is, when the Ultimate Warrior died, it had a much bigger impact on me than when Robin Williams died. And I guess that's to the point where, or for the reason that the Ultimate Warrior had seemed to be so healthy for so long, and then all of a sudden just, died like that it kind of rocks your foundation. We think about, like, well, I feel really healthy and I think everything's fine, but that could happen to me too. With Robin Williams, I want to say that it's shocking but not surprising that he passed away and that it's even a suicide. It's just really not. Now, I've had people automatically hit me up and say, hey, you should do this video about, Robin Williams. Everybody else is doing one. Well, that's true, but everybody else doesn't have the perspective that I have of why this happened the way it did. I've had people in my life commit suicide. I've told the story of my friend Joe Pacheco, who hung himself. I've had people in my life. Actually, I had another friend named Carlos, who, and this is fucked up because nobody knew what the fuck was going on in his head. And I mean, he said some strange things sometimes, but nothing that would make you go, "Oh, this kid's in danger of hurting himself." But his family basically said that it's a closed casket because of whatever he did. They can't have an open casket. It was just all of a sudden one day, like, yeah, Carlos, he killed himself. He passed away. I'm like, what the fuck? Like a very, very strange thing that there were really no signs or anything like that that would make you go, something's up. And the substance abuse issues, which I can relate to, which Robin Williams had. And he just recently checked himself back into rehab again, from what the reports say. And I don't think if you've ever been addicted to something, whether it's alcohol or drugs or sex or whatever the fuck it may be, I don't think you can understand the anguish that you can be in constantly. I mean, you constantly have to go, I'm 38 years old right now. If I live to be 100 or 90 or 80 or whatever, it's a long time to go trying to fight off an addiction, trying to fight off something you want to do but you can't do. And sometimes it's a daily thing, sometimes it's an hourly thing, sometimes it's, you have an argument with someone and next thing you know you want to get high. Like, it's very difficult to try to say I'm going to abstain for the rest of my life from doing something that I want to do, that my brain's telling me to do, and I'm going to fight that off. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of, willpower. That are you really going to have that for the rest of your life? Is it really going to be there for you to just hold off this monkey that's on your back? Is it going to be there for the rest of your life? I don't fucking know. I don't have that answer. I tell Kari all the time, I said, what? I can't promise that someday I'm not going to relapse. I can't. I've never relapsed once in my life. I decided not to do fucking drugs anymore, and I didn't. Done. That's it. But can I promise for the rest of my life? No. How do I know that I can't promise? Because look at what happens. The odds are against you from the beginning, but how strong can a person possibly be to not give in for the rest of their life on something? It's very, very difficult. So while you're going through this addiction, first of all, while you're doing the drugs or the alcohol, whatever, you don't think right. You don't think like yourself. You say and do things that you normally wouldn't, because reality is actually different. It's very hard to explain. But you also, there's things I've said and done that I don't fucking remember. Have absolutely no recollection of that happening or occurring or talking to a person about something whatsoever. So it's a strange situation to be in. And it's scary and it sucks, and you don't feel like you have control even when you have control. Because even though you have control and you're not doing that drug or drinking that alcohol or whatever it is, you still are afraid to slip, and you think that for 1 second, if you're not paying attention, it can happen all over again, and it can. So that's scary. So living with that weight on your shoulder, I can absolutely tell you, is enough for a lot of people to kill themselves. It absolutely is. Now, depression on top of it, which is what he was dealing with. I personally have never had depression. Have I had bouts of depression? Sure, but I think everybody has. Could that have been induced by drugs? Yeah. I mean, I took ecstasy, which supposedly drains your dopamine levels, and it can make you feel shitty for a week or two after you take it. Painkillers, when you're coming off of them, you can have severe depression. Steroids, when you're coming off of them, you can have severe depression. I mean, it wasn't a clinical depression that was caused by a lack of chemicals in my brain. It was caused by putting chemicals in my brain that was fucking it up, and it doesn't last for long bouts like it lasts for people that have clinical depression and been diagnosed and have to be on medication or don't take their medication. Is that something to kill yourself over? A lot of people do that. So now you have two things he was dealing with that are just sitting on his shoulders like a fucking 500-pound squat that he carries around for days. And the pain of doing that seems to outweigh the pain of trying to fight and keep your loved ones happy and stay around and not affect them. And you really look more of it as you can't take anymore. There's a breaking point. Now that breaking point, I've had people put in the comment section under the things that killing yourself is the cowardly way out. Coward, you're a coward, you're this. Ha! Let me tell you something. You are dead fucking wrong. I'm not saying you're a hero because you fucking kill yourself. I'm saying that you got a hell of a lot of fucking courage and balls to do it. I don't know if you've ever thought about it or ever tried it or ever wanted to do it, which most people have. But fill up a fucking syringe full of insulin, because I've done this, and think about just injecting that insulin. It's not going to hurt. Okay, it's not going to hurt you. You're not going to fuck. It's not like a bullet shot to the head. But you'll go into a fucking coma and you'll die. You won't feel anything. That'll be the end of it. Try doing that. Try thinking about doing that. Try thinking about taking handfuls of fucking painkillers or Xanax or something. Handfuls. Handfuls of Xanax. 50 Xanax. Take those Xanax, swallow them. Go to sleep and never wake up. Think about that. It takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of balls to take a fucking gun and hold it to somebody's face who just robbed you or beat you or fucking raped you and pull the trigger. It takes a lot of courage to do that. To end a life, whether it's yours or someone else's, takes a hell of a lot of courage to do, being the fact that you don't know what happens afterwards. You don't know what's on the other side. Regardless of how religious you are, of what you think you know, end game when your life fucking ends. That's it, end game. You don't know what the fuck happens after that. To take that leap of faith and fucking go further than that takes a lot of balls. So I don't look at him as a coward. You know, when my friend Joe hung himself, Joe Pacheco, you know, some people are like, Joey, how could you do this? This is the cowardly way out. And I'm sitting there going, you guys don't understand. To get to that point, you have to be in so much fucking pain, and it's so goddamn unbearable to get to the point that you would actually kill yourself. Sorry, the battery ran out. But you have to be so dead set on getting that job done and have so much courage and so much balls to kill yourself that unless you've done it, or unless you've thought about it to that point where you almost did it, you don't understand. So I think that honestly, you know, Robin Williams didn't play a huge role in my life. He entertained me as his characters and stuff. You know, I kind of followed what he was going throughout the years. Surprised but not shocked that this happened. And it sucks all the way around for a lot of people, but depression and substance abuse is a very hard thing to carry. It's very difficult to carry around with you for the rest of your life. Suicide is an option that many people take because they can't do it anymore. And I'll be honest with you, everybody that's pissed, I don't blame the people that kill themselves. I really don't, because I'm in that situation. So, you know, I choose not to kill myself. You know, I choose to go on with it. Not everybody can do that. So just be aware. People around you with depression, people around you with, you know, substance abuse issues, even though they may not be talking to you about it, they're dealing with a lot more shit than you think they are. And they could always be on the brink of that, ending it at any time. Biohistorytraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biohistorytraining.com is a blog, and where it's the Mork and Ork, Mork from Ork, Mork and Mindy Bicep, Nanu, and we're out.